The 280 Ackley Improved is just a real improvement over the 30-06. It's probably the best case for me on the 30-06 line for sheep. Some people think you should have a more high intensity, but if you really take a look at the 280 AI ballistics, it's like a light 7mm rem mag. Very, very good ballistics. And the ability to use 175 grain bullets. The reason I don't really like the 25-06 that much, even though it shoots really well up in the Alpine, is 120 grain bullets. And a twist rate that won't allow you to really shoot much heavier than that, unless it was a round nose. If somebody made 130 grain round nose, I'd love that. But 175 grain, I really love the action of the 175 grain Nosler partition. That's what Mr. Nosler, really made that for moose and grizzly and all sorts of stuff. So for grizzly defense, 280 AI is a very, very good rifle, and yet it still has the trajectory to get out there to 500 yards, especially when it shoots like this one seems to. So that's very exciting. 4.9 pound rifle that shoots like that. People will say, well, you can't shoot a 4.9 pound rifle very well, but when it kicks as little as that one, and it rides the bags as well as that one, and when it's got the trigger, that trigger tech trigger, man, oh man, the ergonomics is outstanding. Beautiful rifle, really happy. With the brake, this thing is a total pussycat to shoot. Like that is, like shooting a 243. Even a 6 pounds, less than 6 pound rifle with the scope and strap, piece of cake. One thing I really like to see is when you get that primer strike right in the middle. Like that's right in the middle. Sometimes you don't. So taking a look at this case, it seems like there's been some good machining gone into this, so that's a good sign. So I got it sighted in at 25 yards. It took me 3 shots to get there. I'll let it cool off a bit, and then we'll try our first group. While I'm waiting for the cool down, I'll try the Forbes 24B. It's a good gun. It's no longer seems to be great. So we'll see. That's where the gun hit the rocks, and it cracked right through to the other side, and then I started getting some accuracy issues. So I've tried rebedding it, but then I think I didn't use runny enough epoxy, so I had sort of like a pressure point, so I got vertical stringing. And then I relieved it, but now I think I've got uneven pressure, so I'm going to have to rebed it and see how I do. The problem with these Kevlar stocks is they're very strong, and Melvin Forbes built these so that the full-length neutral bedding really stiffened up that barrel, but the problem with them is that when you do get some impact, you actually change the bedding. And it's sort of like a Kevlar canoe. They're very, very strong, but they can be a little bit brittle. And if it was free-floated like the Weatherby, it wouldn't have mattered so much. But this is an integral part of the gun. So I'm going to have to try to do more repair on that. And I think I'll get it. And if I don't, I'll send it back to Melvin Forbes. But cross international travel and sending a gun across borders is a little tricky, so hopefully I'll figure this out. Much, much lighter than the 30-06. 30-06 is not a heavy kicker, even in that lightweight Forbes. But the ergonomics of this rifle, the Forbes are very, very good. Of this rifle, they're also just excellent. I'll let that barrel cool down a bit, and I'll edit some of this out of the video. It's getting a little warm, not too bad. It's, days around 0, just around the melting point of water. 32F for you guys in the US of A. This gun is very easy to shoot. I like the way it hangs on the bags. It hangs on the bags very, very nicely. There's not much muzzle flip either. I'm going to have to bring hearing protection into the mountains with me, and that is a bit of a pain in the butt, but it's not so bad. Because I've already lost a lot of my hearing. I can hear normal conversations, but my higher range frequency hearing is gone. I did a test with the kids when they were at home, and I think I came out the same as a 90-year-old artillery captain was where they had me on, because I lose my upper range hearing. If my memory serves me right, at about 9,000 hertz or something like that. Maybe even a little earlier. So I've lost all of that high range, and that's probably a combination of shooting guns and driving tractors and a misspent youth. A little bit of noisy music when I was young, not too much, but and kids nowadays with their buds, I think it's really important to, I really try to protect my son's hearing. Last year when we got the caribou with the 25-06, I took one shot with the 25-06 at fairly close range down to kill one of the caribou, and the sound came back. And even without the break, even that's a gun without a break. That's a Forbes 25-06, really good shooting gun. It really, I had that problem for a day or so where I couldn't hear that well. So I think using hearing protection even when you're out hunting is probably more important than people think. Okay, here we go. Really nice trigger pull on this gun, and that's a very good group. That's the first group fired. I can tell you right now, this gun's a keeper. Very happy about that. So let's go check it out. Okay, there are the first 3 shots out of that Forbes, and that's about a 1-inch group, and that's with 162 Hornady, what do they call those? ELDXs, which I've never found easy to get to shoot. So look at that. That is pretty encouraging. And here's the Forbes. You'll see that was the first shot, and then I fired 2 shots touching, and then I fired that 3rd shot. So that's, that first shot was out of a cold barrel. It usually hasn't been like that, but maybe I'm getting there. It'd be really nice to have a good rifle for my son too. So now I get to ring it out. One of the most fun things. I get to ring both these rifles out again, because in some sense that Forbes 24B is now a new rifle that I got to figure out. So I am thinking that Weatherby is a keeper. I'm going to take it home, clean it really well. I'm not going to fire too many shots out of it. I want to make sure I season the barrel well. So that's had 6 shots out of it now. That's probably enough. But that's very, very encouraging. I am sure this is going to be a sub-MOA rifle, and I think I'm going to get the Forbes shooting again too. So it's all good. Thanks for watching. I hope there's not too much wind sound in this thing. So there it is, 14 pounds of hamburger and a really nice roast. So thank you. I don't know if my benefactor wants to be named, so I'll just leave it at that.